existing and Tybalt and stereo. Oh my god, hold on. All right, there we go. Now you guys can hear me. Let's make sure. Hold on. There we are. Whew, I just realized I probably don't have any audio. I know, I just realized that right now. Thank you. I fixed the audio, guys. Fantastic. I'm so sorry. I've done all this time without any audio. Hilarious. Hi, guys. My name is the Nerdy Night Owl, and welcome to the Bubble Rock, uh, the Bubble Rock stream. Today we are going to be doing hopefully, I'm trying to beef up a little bit more of the beginning of the Bubble Rock movie, I guess, the first one, as well as work on some songs as well. Hopefully, I can, and hopefully, it will do. Hopefully, I could do wonders, I guess, for today. Sorry, I was a little bit late. My computer did not want to work with me. But after D down what would you say, downgrading, downgrading, it's always Microsoft for some weird ass reason. It's Windows 11. I had a dework the new Windows patch. The new Windows patch is literally killing my computer. It's hilarious. Windows, fix your shit. I swear to God, fix yo shit. Windows 11, you are the devil. On that later note, I don't know if you guys saw earlier, I could switch to multiple faces. So this was kind of brand new. This is an inspirational face. Uh, this is one of the SpongeBob SquarePants fishes. I just his face just always cracks me up. So yeah, not redrew, but I looked and I'm not tracing. I hate tracing. I just looked at the image and I just copied what I seen on my paper. No tracing, no nothing. Well, not even no paper. I did everything in Procreate, so that's why you have these mouth movements here and why everything looks so smooth and subtle. Yes, this fish is slowly judging. Let's look at the chat before I start anything. Yes, I know, and thank you for being here. My, my, my one person. Thank you, Dan, or whoever you are in the chat. I don't know you. I don't know you. Who are you? I know who you are. I was like, having fun wherever you are. I just realized. Hold on, let me see if I can put this down more. Sorry, I'm over here trying to figure out where I could put this iPad. Where I could put this iPad so it's not in the way and I can see the chat just in case people actually show up. Again, it's fine if you guys are here, but you guys can also do a redo of the YouTube, I guess. Hopefully, I don't know. Lives are not as interesting, I guess, right now. But let's get started. Let me go back to the first scene. There we are. Welcome. Welcome. Alright, let's see. I gotta open up my Chrome real quick. There we are. I gotta put this down more. Gotta open up my Google Docs. Sorry, I burped there for a second. Remember, guys, today's stream is Bubble Rock. Remember the synopsis, Bubble Rock synopsis. Here it is, guys. A 15-year-old bubble boy named Juan must journey the 4 interconnected planets of Trimondia, looking for his future bandmates after receiving shards that transform into magical bubble instruments from his former rock star mom and dad. With the power of rock and roll and a little Latin soul, this band is gonna need all the luck they can to be the galaxy's greatest rock band. Remember, guys, that's a synopsis for Bubble Rock. Bubble Rock. Alrighty. Let's go back over here. Sorry, I'm over here just clicking away. Uh, I'm beefing up the beginning. So I took some criticism from the YouTube, uh, with people on YouTube, as well as Instagram, which is really funny. I never knew I had actually Instagram people too. So I'm gonna beef up the beginning. So let's see. A young alien bubble named Maxwello, age 7, hides inside a bunker. Dun 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 dun. Okay, I gotta think of music. Cause this is called Little Star, Maxwello's song. So now I have to actually figure out music. So I'm gonna be adding stuff. That's why I said beefing up stuff. So I have to figure it out. So give me one moment as I try. As I try and think of something good to write. I have to, I have to visualize. I have to visualize me there, in that moment. Thank you for being here. Da 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 da. There is war around the world already. Going, going, going. You look out in the world today. And where do you keep on going, going? Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Boom boom clank clash doom 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 clank clash da doom doom doom. Sorry, I'm thinking of I'm thinking of like different beats and stuff. Give me a second. Everything in my brain. A young alien bubble named a young alien bubble boy named Maxwello, age 7, hides inside a fortified bunker tower in the city A young alien bubble boy named Maxwello, age 7, hides inside a fortified bunker tower in the city of... Let's see. Now, oh, goodness gracious. We have to think of those. We have to think of cities. We got to think of worlds. Again, it's Tremondia. That's in the entirety of all the worlds connected. But now, we got to think of actual planet names. But we have to think of the city. He's in a fortified bunker tower in the city of... Let's see. I want to keep it bubble related since it's bubbles. Hilarious. Let's think. Let's think this through. Curiouser and curiouser. Let's think. A young alien bubble boy named Maxwello, age 7, hides inside a fortified bunker tower in the city of... Bubble. I gotta think of bubble. Bubble. 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 Everything. B-U-B. That's how all the cities should start off with. So, would it be Bubblia? Would it be Bubblio? Would it be Bubbica? Would it be Apico? Would it be anything? Let's see. Let's think this through. The city of Bub, B-U-B. The city of Bub, B-U-B. Everything starts with B-U-B, so let's think things through. Alright, so B-U-B. L-I-A. That's Bubblia. If I can add another B to with the name of Bubblia, Bubblia. A young alien bubble boy named Maxwello, age 7. Sorry guys, that's my neighbor's dogs. It's kind of crazy that you can kind of hear it. It's coming from up there. It's coming from up there. Really thin walls of an apartment complex. Really thin walls. Let's see. The city of Bubblia. He makes his way up the bunker to a vantage point. So he makes his way up the bunker tower. He makes his way up the bunker tower to a secure vantage point. To a secure vantage point, looking out at all the carnage of war happening in front of him. Looking out up the bunker tower to a secure vantage point, looking out at all the carnage of war happening in front of him. The battle of the 5 worlds was raging on, and there was no end in sight. His father was called to the line of duty, and his mother... Alright, let's see. She and him... His father was called to the line of duty, and his mother, well, she and him got separated after the bubble house they lived in. Burst from the other aliens coming down from the sky, from the skies above, from the skies above. Maxwello stares down at the war below. Alright. Coming down from the skies above. Maxwello stares down at the war below him. Okay. Maxwello stares down at the war below him. And okay. Maxwello stares down at the war below him. And couldn't take looking at all Maxwello stares down at the war below him and couldn't take looking at the carnage in the street. Carnage in the street. He looks to the other planets above him. Okay. So Maxwello stares down at the war below him and couldn't take he couldn't take a look at all the carnage in the street. He frantically looks to the other planets above him when something glowing caught the corner of his eye. When something when something glowing in glowing when something glowing in the sky caught the corner of his eye. Okay, there we go. Let's read that back. I like to proofread everything. A young alien bubble boy named Maxwello, age 7, hides inside a fortified bunker tower in the city of Bublia. He makes his way to the bunker tower to a secure vantage point, looking out at all the carnage of war happening in front of him. The battle of the five worlds was raging on. Sorry, guys. The battle of the five worlds was raging on, and there was no end in sight. His father was called to the line of duty, and his mother, well, she and him got separated after their bubble house they lived in bursted from the other aliens coming down from the skies above. Maxwello stares down at the war below him and couldn't take a look at the carnage in the street. He frantically looks to the other planets above him when something glowing in the sky caught the corner of his eye. Alright. That sounds fantastic. Alright, fantastic. Alright, let's keep going. A shooting star, he whispers to himself. A burning mass of rock can be seen shining brightly across a bitter sky. Maxwello, with all of his heart, begins to wish on the star for the war to end. For the war to end. A melody begin for the war to end. For the war to end. A melody begins to play. Melody begins to play. Alright, a melody begins to play. Little Star, Maxwello's song. Alright, guys, we're coming up to the first song. Oh god, it's scary. Alright, Little Star, so let's see. I know there's Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, so I gotta be careful. Gotta be careful, guys. There's already a song called Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. I think there's also a Disney song from Wish, I guess. Wishing on a Star. I don't fucking know. Wish was a terrible movie. I'm so sorry. But number one thing, I do love the hell out of that star in the Disney movie. Goddamn. That little star is cute as hell, and I hope that Disney does not kill the design of that star. He's adorable as shit. But we gotta think of I gotta think of a star. I gotta think of a original star song that a child that is 7 years old can think and sing. Let's think, guys. Do 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 do. Little star, little star, little star, little star, little star. So there's three. It's a 3 time. Little star, little star, little star, little star. I know you're far from me, but can you hear my... let's see. Little star, I know you're far from me. Dun 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 dun. Can you hear... Star far from me. Can you hear my little melody? My little melody. Little melody. I'm not really asking much. Asking much. Asking much. Just a little. Alright, let's see what I have so far. Little star, I know you're far from me. Can you hear my little melody? I'm not really asking much, just a little sympathy. Won't you care, little star, flying high, oh, little star, flying high in the night. In the night, I don't want anything. Oh, not anything. I don't want anything. Oh, not anything. Flashy or even anything flashy or even. I'm not asking for. Okay, I don't want anything. Oh, not anything. I don't want anything flashy. Okay. I don't want anything. Oh. I don't want anything. Oh, not anything flashy or even. I don't want anything. Oh, not anything. But to not feel scared anymore. I just want a little peace. Just a little peace. I just want a little peace. Just a little peace to come to everyone. Won't you show them? Oh, yes, show them. Little star. Oh, yes, show them. Won't you okay, so everyone, won't you show them? Oh, yes, show them. Little star. Alright. Oh, yes, show them. Little star. Sorry guys, I'm over here just doing some editing. Okay, I think I got it. I think I got it. It's a small song, guys, okay? Some of these songs are gonna be small songs. Not everything needs to be a grand song, just small. Alright, I think I got it. I was trying to think of something like something sweet and adorable like at the end. Alright. Let's see. Let me run this through so it sounds decent, I guess. Hopefully. Hopefully. Remember, guys, I'm not really a singer, so please, I was like, I do bad karaoke on this Twitch channel, so you guys should know that already. Alright. Again, this is just me thinking of like a melody. I don't really know what the melody is right now. I have it kind of in my head. I just need to get it out on actual thing. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Little star, I know you're far from me. Can you hear my little melody? I'm not really asking much, just a little sympathy. Won't you care, little star, flying high in the night? I don't want anything, oh, not anything, but to not feel scared anymore. Dun 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 dun. Little star, I just want a little piece. Little star, yes, just a little piece to come to everyone. Won't you show them? Oh, yes, show them. Little star, glowing bright in the sky ever far. Da-da-da-da-dun-da-dun. Won't you show them? Oh, show them, little star. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, again, guys, I don't have a like I just a small little melody in my head. So da ba 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 da ba dum, ba 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 da ba dum. But it's gonna be like a softer melody, guys. Just a softer melody. So let's run that back so it makes sense when you guys are actually reading it. Little star, I know you're far from me. Can you hear my little melody? I'm not really asking much, just a little sympathy. Won't you care? Little star flying high in the night. I don't want anything. Oh, hold on. I don't want anything. I gotta put a comma. Oh, not anything. But to not feel scared anymore. But to not feel scared anymore. I just want a little piece. Oh, yes, a little piece. Oh, yes, just a little piece. Okay. I just want a little piece. Oh, yes, just a little piece. To come to everyone. Okay. Just a little piece. Okay. To come to everyone. Won't you show them? Won't you show them? Oh, yes, show them. Little star. Glowing bright in the sky ever far. I just want a little piece. Oh yes, oh yes, just a little piece to come to everyone. Won't you show them? Oh yes, show them. Little star. I gotta put commas everywhere where I want there to be a pause. Little star, glowing bright in the sky ever far. Won't you show them? Oh yes, show them. Won't you show them? Oh yes, show them. Won't you show them? Oh yes, show them. Oh yes, show them. Little star. Oh yes, show them. I think it's gonna be slower on the ending. Won't you show them? Oh yes, show them. Little star. Okay, so I'll have it like that. I'm trying to think of a shorter, smaller melody, like a very. It's supposed to be sad, guys. So let's see. Let's look at everything. Make sure I have everything down and written. That's the thing. It's down and written. Make sure everything is good. Make sure everything sounds perfect. You know, in the voice, I guess. So, Little Star, Maxwello's song. Little Star, I know you're. Okay, so Little Star. Pause. I know you're far from me. Can you hear my little melody? I'm not asking much. Oh, I'm not really asking much. Just a little sympathy. Won't you care? Little star flying high in the night. I don't want anything. Oh, not anything. But to not feel scared anymore. I just want a little piece. Oh yes, just a little piece to come to everyone. Won't you show them? Oh yes, show them. Little star, glowing bright in the sky ever far. Won't you show them? Oh yes, show them. Little star. And again, this guy, hopefully I can make it really sad. This is gonna be some sad shit, guys. Yeah, it's crazy. Okay, so I think I got that. We're done. First song out of the bag, guys. Fantastic. I love when lyrics just come to me, guys. Alright, so let's see what we have so far. Let's see if everything makes sense. Right? I love when everything makes sense. A young alien bubble boy named Maxwello, age 7, hides inside a fortified bunker tower in the city of Bublia. He makes his way up the bunker tower to a secure vantage point, looking out at all the carnage of war happening in front of him. The battle of the five worlds was raging on, and there was no end in sight. His father was called to the line of duty, and his mother, well, she and him got separated after their bubble house they lived in bursted from the other aliens coming down from the skies above. Maxwello stares down at the war below him and couldn't take a look at all the carnage in the street. He frantically looks to the other planets above him when something glowing in the sky caught the corner of his eye. A shooting star, he whispers to himself. A burning mass of rock can be seen shining brightly across a bitter sky. Maxwello, with all of his heart, begins to wish on the star for the war to end. A melody begins to play. Little star, Maxwello's song. Little star, I know you're far from me. Can you hear my little melody? I'm not really asking much, just a little sympathy. Won't you care? Little star, flying high in the night. I don't want anything. Oh, not anything, but to not feel scared anymore. I just want a little peace. Oh, yes, just a little peace. To come to everyone. Won't you show them? Oh, yes, show them. Little star, glowing bright in the sky ever far. Won't you show them? Oh, yes, show them. Little star. And did you guys like my little star? I was like, did you guys like that? It's actually my voice, little star. As the star dissipates into the night, as the star dissipates into the night sky, into the night sky, into the night sky, Maxwello hides inside. Maxwello hides inside a. Maxwello hides inside a small closet for the rest of the evening. I was like, for the rest of the evening. For the rest of the evening. Not understanding what is happening outside in the outside. Okay, not understanding what is happening outside. Okay, give me a second, guys. I have to think. The rest of the evening. Not realizing what's happening outside. Not realizing what is happening outside. Okay, not realizing what is happening outside in the battle of the five worlds. In the battle of the five worlds. Okay? So as the star dissipates in the night sky, Maxwello hides inside a small closet for the rest of the evening, not realizing what is happening outside in the battle of the five worlds. A huge burst of light swept across the five planets, encasing the light swept across the five planets, encasing the planets together with glass diamond bridges. The five warlords who sought power were trapped inside the diamond tree-like structure, connecting all the five planets, and fully enclosing one. Okay, and fully enclosing one. Inside the tree. And fully enclosing one inside the tree. Inside the tree. No, I think I'll not capitalize. So the five warlords who sought power were trapped inside the diamond tree-like structure, connecting all the five planets and fully enclosing one inside the tree. The warlords tried their best to claw their way out. They chipped off five diamond shards. Of wood-like pieces. Of five diamond shards of wood-like pieces. In the process, they cursed vengeance to whoever stopped them from taking over the universe. Over the universe. The shards flew up. Okay, the shards flew up and the shards flew up and shards. The shards. The shards fell down. The shards fell down to the planets below. To the planets below. The shards fell down to the planets below. And seem to have a mind of their own. Mind of their own. As the shards seem to be looking. Okay, so give me a second, guys, as I'm trying to write this. Alright, so they cursed vengeance to whoever stopped them from taking over the universe. The shards fell down to the planets below, and seemed to have a mind of their own. Of their own, as the shards seemed to be looking for the young bubble boy Maxwello. The shards flew to where he was. The shards flew to where he was and were intended to kill him. Okay, the shards flew to where he was and were intended to kill him. And were intended to kill him, but the door was, But the reinforced closet door, But the reinforced closet door was in the way, sticking the shards inside the door frame. Okay, so let's read that back so everything makes sense. Ready? The shards fell down to the planets below and seemed to have a mind of their own. As the shards seemed to be looking for the young bubble boy Maxwello, the shards flew to where he was and were intended to kill him, but the reinforced closet door was in the way, sticking the shards inside the door frame. He woke up the next morning. No sounds of shooting or explosions can be heard. He opens the door and doesn't notice He opens the door and doesn't notice the 5 shards sticking out. Notice the 5 shards sticking out. The 5 shards sticking out at first, and doesn't notice the 5 shards sticking out at first. He goes he goes over to the lookout area and looks down below. At the streets. Down below at the street. Bubble people living their everyday life like normal. He was confused. Oh, he was so confused. He looked up at the sky. He looks up at the sky and notices the other planets and started. Okay, so he looks up at the sky and notices the other planets. And noticed the other planets. Okay, and notice the other planets. He starts to realize the differences. Okay, let's see the planets. He starts to realize the differences between them from last night. He looks around the bunker and gathers. He looks around the bunker. He looks around the bunker and gathers his things. As he okay, he looks around the bunker and gathers his things. He looks around the bunker. Okay, I realize the difference between him. He looks around the bunker and gathers up his things. As he was about to leave, he finally notices the 5 shards sticking out of the door of the closet he was in. Okay, so he finally notices the 5 shards sticking out of the door of the closet he was in. What are these? He asked himself. As he reached out to touch one, it vibrates his whole body. Cool. He grabs them off the door and puts them in his bag. He grabs them off the door and puts them in his bag. In his bag. Is the war over? He thought to himself. Did my wish really come true? As he floated to the bunker door nervously, he opens the door. Okay, so is the war over? He thought to himself. Did my wish really come true? As he floated to the bunker door nervously, he opened the door and walked out. He opened the door and walked out, the sun piercing down on him. A bubble lady with a stroller was walking down the street and caught his eye. Excuse me, miss. Maxwello looks at her. You're not sorry, I need to do some correctional. You're not worried about walking your baby down the street during the war? During the war? War? What war? What war? The lady told Maxwello. Maxwello, puzzled, ran away from her. He made a mad dash to his home. He quickly ran down to his street. He floated to the front door of his house. Maxwello yells out for his mama, and Maxwello yells out for his mama as he opens the door. No answer. He looks around. Maxwello yells out for his mama as he opens the door. No answer. He looks around the house. Fully rebuilt again. No damages at all. to the fully rebuilt again. No damages at all to the beautiful. No damages at all to the beautiful bubble house. Fully rebuilt again. No damages at all to the beautiful bubble house. As if there was never a war. Never a war. Over the next few years, Maxwell. Over the next few years, Maxwell looks for both his mother and father, coming up with no traces of both of them. Now at the age of 14, he loses hope of ever finding them. On his birthday, of ever finding them. On his birthday, he finds a guitar in the trash can. On one of his patrols looking for food. Happy 15th birthday, he tells himself as he strums the guitar string in the bunker he builds inside of his childhood home. He kept strumming away on the string. He kept strumming away on the guitar. And eventually, he kept strumming away on the guitar, and eventually notices. He kept strumming away on the guitar and eventually noticed the glowing light coming from inside of his bag. He noticed the shards reacting to the guitar sound he was making. He put down the guitar and floated over to his bag. He grabbed a shard piece out of the bag and looked over it and thought real hard of that night he lost his parents. He began to hum a sad melody. He began to hum a sad melody. And the shard began to magically transform. And the shard began to magically transform around his hand. The shard began to magically transform around his hand into a beautiful bubble guitar. And began to magically transform around his hand into a beautiful bubble guitar. He started to play the beautiful melody again, strumming away on the bubble instrument. Strumming away on the bubble instrument. A voice begins to echo. A voice begins to echo in the back of his mind. Set us free. As he faints onto the ground. Set us free. As he faints onto the ground. Maxwell wakes up a few hours later, Maxwello wakes up a few hours later, now with a new passion. I want to be a rock star, he tells himself. He tells himself. Montage scene of Maxwello becoming a rock star commences. The original song Rockstar plays as the montage continues of Maxwello climbing the rock and roll radio station charts. But he wonders charts on his planet But he begins to wonder, wonder about the other planets. He would continue to venture more and more into the music and tries to unlock the potential power of the shards, how interconnected one can possibly be with music. On the day of his 20th birthday, he decided to fly up to the other planets and check what their life was like. What their life was like up there. It wasn't another bubble planet like he thought, but people made of foam. People made of foam, metal, and wood. People made of foam, metal, and wood. The foam people. The foam people were so delicate. Like a breeze can take them away at any moment. Like a breeze can take them away at any moment, but doesn't. Doesn't. He floats around the city, trying to get a feel of for his new surroundings. Eventually, finding an entertainer. Floats around his new surroundings. Floats around the city trying to get a feel for his new surroundings, eventually finding an entertainer street corner. He pulled out the shard from his bag. Hello. He looks over to the street name. He doesn't understand the alien language. My name is Maxwello. I am a rock and roller from Calisp. Please enjoy the free show. Calisp is gonna be the name of the planet. So, Calisp is his bubble planet. Maxwello begins to play half of his song called Crystal Heart before the police came to check people for clearance papers. He was so enthusiastic about the music, he didn't notice them. Coming up. He didn't notice them coming up to him. Soon he was being chased down by them. Eventually realizing he could fly on this planet, he took to the sky. 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 And try to fly away. He tried to fly away, flying near a building. Flying near a building. As one of eventually realizing he could fly on this planet, he took to the sky and tried to fly away, flying near a building as one of the shards begins to get activated in his bag from a ricocheted foam blast. Begins to get activated in his bag from a ricocheted foam blast that came from the foam police. Ricocheted blast that came from the foam police, sending him upward. He crashed back down and goes inside. He crashes back down and goes inside a garbage can. Oh, come on. He tells him, oh, come on. He tells himself as he tells himself. He gets himself. He gets out of the garbage. He gets out of the garbage can and ponders what to do next. As he walks down the street. And ponders what to do next as he walks down the street. He goes, he decides to get himself some food. He starts to ask the people around where he could find food places since he can't read the signs. Most foam people turned away. Most foam people turned away. Most foam people turned away. He walked away, sad and defeated, down these streets. Down the streets. He walked away, sad and defeated, down the streets. He took out a shard from his bag and began to strum on the street. He played with soft tones, but kept rock elevated emotionally throughout his playing. The town people. Eventually came out to him. People eventually came out to him. They gave Maxwell food and another. They gave Maxwell food They gave Maxwell food, and another shard holder was found that day. His wife, she was enthralled by his music. He was, she was enthralled by his musical ability, and began to follow him around. The planets. Okay, so the musical ability, and began to follow him around the planets. Eventually, eventually, one of the shards. Eventually, one of the shards picked up on her singing ability, making a beautiful crystal microphone, making a beautiful crystal microphone, turning them into the ultimate duo microphone. Okay, so let's read that back. He gets out of the garbage can and ponders what to do next. As he walks down the street, he decides to get himself some food. He starts to ask the people around where he could find food places, since he can't read the signs. Most phone people turn away. He walked away, sad and defeated, down the streets. He took out a shard from his bag and began to strum on the street. He played with soft tones, but kept rock elevated emotionally throughout his playing. The town people eventually came out to him. They gave Maxwell food, and another shard holder was found that day. His wife, Emiliana. She was enthralled by his musical ability and began to follow him around the planets. Eventually, one of the shards picked up on her singing ability, making a beautiful crystal microphone for her, turning them into the ultimate duo. End quote. Camera turns on. So this is like the interview part. So this is like, I think people got like confused. This is now like the interview section part. So now that they've been around the planets, so it's just gonna be like a montage of like planet stuff. So now it's a couple of years later. They're in like their 30s now. All right. So camera turns on. Reporter. In the height of their fame, or a reporter can be boy or girl, I don't really mind who it is, but in the height of their fame, they left the stage. Some say Maxwell wanted to be a family man. Last we heard of this sensational duo, they settled down and had kids. He said he wanted to step away from the spotlight and live a normal life. And what does he think he'll do now for money? Another reporter came in. And what does he think he'll do for money? And what does he think he'll do now for money? Another reporter chimed in. Run a car wash business, she says snarkily as she begins to laugh. Ha 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 ha. Reporter begins to speak again. Cut the feed. Hold on. Cut the feed. As the camera keeps playing as the camera keeps playing. Wow, what a has-been. I wonder what his kids will become. His kids will become the two reporters begin to laugh again. Reporters. Alright, so in the height of their fame, they left the stage. Some say Maxwell wanted to be a family man. Last we heard of the sensational duo, they settled down and had some kids. He said he wanted to step away from the spotlight and live a normal life. And what does he think he'll do now for money? Another reporter chimed in. Run a car wash business? She says snarky as she begins to laugh. Reporter begins to speak again. Cut the feed as the camera keeps playing. Wow, what a has-been. I wonder what his kids will become. The two reporters begin to laugh again. Bubble Rock opening title appears. A slideshow of Maxwell's family growing up appears on the screen, showing growing up appears on the screen, showing them opening up their car wash business there. And his kids growing with it. Okay, there we go. Camera pans to an opening shot of Juan. Okay, so here's growing up. And his kids growing with it. Business. Coming up to modern day. Camera pans to an opening shot of Juan, a bubble boy waking up before 7 a.m., humming a sweet melody. I'll just say 7 a.m. humming a sweet song. Juan, happy 15th birthday to me, as he looks at himself in the mirror. Is that a chest hair? He screams. I'm growing up so fast. As he covers his mouth up, realizing he was too loud. He gets ready for the day. As all the alarm, he gets himself ready for the day. As all the alarms, he gets himself ready for the day. As all the alarms go off at 7 a.m. in the house. At 7. As all the alarms. At 7 a.m. At 7 a.m. in the house. The song 7 a.m. begins to play. And ends with everyone at the kitchen table. Alright, guys. We're at it again for another song. Holy shit. Oh, God. Oh boy. Oh god. Alright, this is a big song, guys. This is I would say the opening. This is the montage song, guys. This is a montage song. It's called 7 a.m. Let's start this shit. Oh my god, let's start this power keg up and running, guys. God damn. Alright. So 7 a.m. Okay, this I can give you guys some heads up. 7 a.m. is going to be a song sung by Juan, his family, as well as his future bandmates that he hasn't met yet. So we're gonna be cutting in. I'm gonna say we're gonna be cutting into the song, I guess, but it's I would say like I'm gonna it's gonna be weird how I have it. I'm gonna have to like chop up the song into like different chunks, and then in between all those things, I'm gonna have to say what's happening and stuff. So let's see how long that's gonna be. Whew. The song 7 a.m. begins to play and ends with everyone at the kitchen table. And by everyone, and ends with all the family members at the kitchen table. Kitchen. Okay, so and ends with all the family members at the kitchen table. Camera pans to everyone eating breakfast at the table. All right, so let's get started. So now we're gonna space and space. All right, we're getting. Oh, Jesus, oh God, this is stress. This is Stress City, guys. Stress City. 7 a.m. begins to play. Let's write it down. 7 a.m. 7 a.m. By yours truly. I gotta put my stuff down. Gotta put it down, you know. Alright, I'm gonna have to do this. So I'm gonna have to put 7 a.m. on the other song. I don't know. Oh God, how long is 7 a.m. gonna be? Fudge, fudge, guys. 1 or 2 pages. Oh God. All right, let's see. All right, 7 a.m. How's it gonna start? All right, he gets himself ready for the day as all the alarms go off at 7 a.m. in the house. The song 7 a.m. begins to play. Do 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 da do 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 da do 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 da do 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 da do do da do 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 da do 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 da do 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 da do da. I think I do 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 da do 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 da do. Okay. 7 a.m. Okay, guys, we're gonna have to think of this. This is how I fixate, guys. This is how I come up with stuff. Is I think of just different types of melodies. 7 a.m. So 7 a.m. So it has the same thing as the three thing as Max Weller's Little Star song. So 7 a.m. 7 a.m. All right, I think I got that. 7 a.m. 7 a.m. Oh, it's time to begin. Is there 7 a.m. All right, let's see. I'm over here thinking, guys. I'm over here thinking. So if you guys hear like silence, it's because I'm thinking it in my mind. I'm so sorry. Bum 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 da da bum 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 bum. Da bum 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 ba bum 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 ba dum bum bum ba da ba da bum. Sorry, guys, I'm still thinking. Who should have the first line at 7 a.m.? All right, let's. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna have like the person actually singing the lyric. I'll have that. So I'll actually have the person singing the lyric. So, beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep, beep. Beep, beep, beep. Beep, beep, beep. I'm trying to think of like, like the alarms that go off in your house. Beep, beep, beep. Beep, beep, beep. 7 a.m. I'm gonna have 7 a.m. I'll say whole cast. I'll just do that. 7 a.m. whole cast. We'll do the 7 a.m. song. 7 a.m. And then you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do if I'm gonna. So if it's not the whole cast, I won't put it down. So it's gonna look weird, like on paper, but I'm pretty sure you guys will understand where I'm like going with, So it's gonna be like almost like a. It's gonna be like the lyric and then who's singing it at like the end, So bear with me. It's gonna look so weird. All right, so 7 a.m. whole cast is singing that part. 7 a.m. Alright, so the whole cast, so 7 a.m. 7 a.m. You know what? I know who's getting the first line. It's time to begin. Alright, it's time to begin. And that's gonna be Juan. That's gonna be. Juan's gonna be the first one singing it. It's time to begin. 5 more minutes. That's gonna be Axel. Axel's gonna be the one. 5 more minutes. That's gonna be Axel, the girl drummer. So 5 more minutes. So Axel, I'm gonna say 5 more minutes. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna do this. So it's gonna look so strange, guys, but bear with me. When I have everything, I will go through and pretty much. Oh gosh, it's gonna look so weird. On like I feel like it's gonna cut together like on screen, but like writing it down is gonna look so weird, Like I don't know. It's gonna look so weird. So let's see. So the whole cast, 7 a.m. When all you hear is beeping in the back, so beep, 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 beep. It's gonna be the sound of the alarms. So I have to think of like an alarm to use, beep, like beep, 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 beep. I mean, I can probably make the beep sound myself, and I could just loop that in. Beep. Beep, beep, boop, beep, beep, boop. I think I could probably do my own boops and beeps. Then I'll have that running in the back, sort of like the alarm, So let's see. Whole cast, 7 a.m., 7 a.m., and then 1. It's time to begin. 5 more minutes. That's Axel. So it's going to be cutting. So 5 more minutes. That's Axel. So it's time to begin. Just 5 more minutes. Okay, that's going to be Axel. So just 5. Just 5 more minutes. Just 5 more minutes. That's gonna be Axel the drummer. Okay, just 5 more minutes. Hope they didn't forget. Okay. Hope they didn't forget. Hope they didn't forget. And that's gonna be Juan and Kiara. So Juan and Kiara. So Kiara is Kiara. So Kiara. She is one of the band members. So we got Axel band member, we got Kiara. So hope they didn't forget. That's Juan and Kiara singing. So Kiara's seeing that because it's part of the thing that's happening with her. It's kind of a spoiler, I guess. But again, I'm gonna be going as far as I can with this, guys, so that way everyone can like figure it out. But Kiara, so Kiara has this lyric: "Hope they didn't forget" with Juan. Juan is talking about his birthday, and Kiara is talking about something else, but that's kind of a spoilering thing. But it's just putting in little foreshadows here and there for you guys just to remember. So hope they didn't forget. That's Juan and Kiara. Okay, and then okay, hope they didn't forget. Hope they didn't forget. Okay, and then it's gonna be Maxwello and so the parents. So I have to think of the parents. The parents are gonna be singing right now. So it's Maxwello and Emiliana. So let's see. Uh, hope they didn't forget. Forget. Did you pick up the cake? 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 I thought you were gonna do it. Okay, guys, I'm adding some comedy to this. So, this is kind of like a singing sort of conversation uh, between Emiliana and okay, sorry guys, I'm just putting down some lyrics. Give me a second. Thought they were like cute and adorable, and I still think they are. So let's see. All right. So let's see. So hope they didn't forget. That's Juan and Kiara. And then it picks up to Juan's parents. So Emiliana begins to sing. Did you pick up the cake? And then Maxwello sings. Maxwello kind of, I say sings, but he kind of just speaks it. I thought you were going to do it. And then pretty much Emiliana's going to look angry. But I'm going to be writing that, so give me a second as I do. But it says, I thought you were going to do it. And then they're going to look angry at, she's going to look angry at him. And then he's going to sing, Honey, I kid. Of course I did. I was like, so that's Maxwello's lyrics. So it's going to be some sort of like comedy, some sort of cutesy thing. I thought it was going to be cute. So just a cutesy moment. It's sort of, again, it's not really singing. It's just mostly like a speaking sort of thing. Again, I have to add like more context in there, but after I put down all the lyrics, then I'll put the context in. Good, fantastic. Thank you guys for waiting so patiently. Okay, I thought you gotta do it. Honey, I kid. Of course I did. Of course I did. Da 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 da. Da. Okay, so da 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 da. Da 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 da. Ba da ba da bum. Ba da ba da bum. Ba bum ba bum bum. Okay, so let's think this through. Who's gonna get the next line? You know who hasn't said anything? The twins. Glorb and Glorbina. Glorb and Glorbina hasn't said anything, so let's see. We overslept. We overslept. We overslept. Mom's going to flip. Glorbina. Glorbina frantically. Okay, so we overslept. Mom's going to flip. Okay, Glorbina. Okay. Okay. Okay, so frantically putting on makeup. Alright, I'm gonna put this right here and right here. I'm gonna have to put these so people understand which ones are there. Sorry, guys. I'm just putting in some. So you guys already. I'm over here trying to do the fingers. Some quotes. Some quotations in my writing. Did you pick up the cake? Okay. And then I'm on to the next. Sorry, guys. I'm over here. I'm over here just putting some quotes, some quotations in. Sorry if it's a little lackluster. Alrighty. Sorry, guys. I'm just writing. Alright, so this is what I have so far. So let's look. So 7 a.m. 7 a.m. It's time to begin. Just 5 more minutes. Okay, so it's time to begin. That's one. Just 5 more minutes. That's Axel. Hope they didn't forget. That's Juan and Kiara. Did you pick up the cake? That's Emiliana. I thought you were going to do it. Honey, I kid. Of course I did. That's Maxwello. We overslept. Mom's going to flip. That's Glorbina. Frantically putting on makeup and dropping some on Glorb, and then she says sorry. Glorbina says sorry to her brother. So sorry. But if I read it as such, it's 7 a.m. 7 a.m. It's time to begin. Just 5 more minutes. Just 5 more minutes. Hope they didn't forget. Did you pick up the cake? I thought you were going to do it. Honey, I kid. Of course I did. We overslept. Mom's going to flip. Mom's going to flip. Sorry. Okay, so that's how it is right now, but it's pretty much people. Again, it's weird when you're looking at it because things are happening while other things are happening, so I'm trying to write it as such. So it's two things happening at once, guys, but you have to read it as such. If I have to, it's going to be awkward the way it is because it's going to be afterwards. So it's like, sorry, Glorbina says to her brother. It's weird. So 7 a.m., 7 a.m., whole cast is singing. Whole cast is singing. Juan sings, it's time to begin. So Juan, that's Juan. As he moves around his room. Alright. It's time to begin. It's time to begin. Juan as he moves around his room. Just 5 more minutes. Axel pulls the covers to her face. Over her face. Axel pulls the covers over her face. Axel pulls the covers over her face and goes back to sleep. Goes back to sleep. Hope they didn't forget. Juan and Kiara sing. Juan and Kiara sing. Juan and Kiara sings. Juan and Kiara sings to their parents, not forgetting their big day. Juan and Kiara sings to their Juan and Kiara sings to their parents. Juan and Kiara sings to their parents to not forget. To not forget. Juan and Kiara sing. Hope they didn't forget. Juan and Kiara sings to their parents to not forget their big day. Ahead of them. Ahead of them. Did you pick up the cake? Emiliana. That's Emiliana. At Maxwello in bed, Maxwello. Did you pick up the cake? Emiliana looks over at Maxwello in bed. Juan and Kiara sing to their parents to not forget their big day ahead of them. Did you pick up the cake? Emiliana looks over at Maxwello in bed. I thought you were going to do it. I thought you were going to do it. I thought you were going to do it. Maxwello. Thought you were going to do it. Maxwello looks at his wife. Looks at his wife as she begins to appear angry. Alright, and then he says, honey, I kid. Of course I did. Honey, I kid. Of course I did. Maxwello looks loving at his wife. Honey, I kid. Of course I did. Maxwello looks lovingly at his wife. We overslept. Mom's going to flip. We overslept. Glorb. We overslept. Glorb wakes up and looks at the time. Mom's going to flip. So again, guys, these are gonna be like, these are gonna be either singing. I don't know if it's gonna be singing or it's just gonna be like talking, but it's gonna be in a rhythmic talking, you know, like something to the beat of the song. Mom's going to flip, and then pretty much stuff is happening. So it's gonna be a frantic song. So hopefully it works well, I guess. So Mom's going to flip. Glorbina frantically putting on makeup and dropping someone. Glorb. Sorry. Sorry. Okay, sorry. Alrighty. Don't make any mistakes. Don't make any mistakes. So sorry, Glorbina says to her brother. So Mom's going to flip. Glorbina frantically putting on makeup and dropping some on Glorb. Sorry, Glorbina says to her brother. Don't make any mistakes. Kiara looks at Kiara. So that's Kiara. This is Kiara singing it. But I said Kiara looks at her violin. So again, guys, this is how I have it written. It looks weird, but when you see it written, you're like, okay, you understand. You understand why I written it that way, you know? hopefully you guys understand the way I have it written. But it says, don't make any mistakes. Kiara looks at her violin. So you can tell who's singing. You guys should tell who's singing, right? So let's see. As long as I get to the middle section, and I'll tell you guys what I have. Okay, so. Sorry, guys, if I'm not saying anything. I'm just writing stuff down, or I'm just thinking stuff. You know, I'm so sorry. Uh, Sorry, guys, I'm over here thinking. Over here thinking. No, I'll put it like right here. I'll put it right there. Scary. Sorry about that, guys. I'm just writing. Again, guys, I'm just writing. I'm just writing. I'm just trying to get for the writing feel. I'm just writing. I'm just writing, writing, writing. Sorry about that, guys. I was setting something up real quick. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm over here. Like segment. What is it? Not segmenting. I'm over here like every like 3 or 4 words. It's like not full sentences, but like every 3 or 4 singing words, I have to add something because there's something going on in between that time they're singing. So I have to have it like that. So that's what I'm kind of doing currently. I'm thinking, okay, what's happening in this particular word, like these in particular word phrases, like phrase singing. What is happening in between that? All right. Sorry, guys. Sorry guys, I'm over here just putting down some quotes and stuff. Sorry guys, I'm just putting some finishing touches. Alright, so far I think kind of works. Alrighty, let's see. Alright, so this is what I have so far for 7 a.m. So 7 a.m., 7 a.m. whole cast. It's time to begin. Juan as he moves around his room. Just 5 more minutes. Axel pulls the covers over her face and goes back to sleep. Hope they didn't forget. Juan and Kiara sings to their parents to not forget their big day ahead of them. Did you pick up the cake? Emiliana looks over at Maxwello in bed. I thought you were going to do it. Maxwello looks at his wife as she begins to appear angry. Honey, I did. Of course I... Honey, I kid. Honey, I kid. Of course I did. Maxwello looks lovingly at his wife. So this is how I have it, like, written down. So you guys can see, like, what's happening play by play of, like, each lyric breakdown, you know, things like that. So that's kind of what I'm doing for the song. So hopefully it comes out great. So it says, honey, I kid. Of course I did. Maxwell looks lovingly at his wife. We overslept. Glorb wakes up and looks at the time. Mom's going to flip. Glorbina frantically putting on makeup and dropping sun on Glorb. Sorry, Glorbina says to her brother. Don't make any mistakes. Kiara looks at her violin scared. It's not in your place. Kiara imitates her mother in her head. To disgrace, so keep haste in your place. Mrs. Kitty informs her daughter to come with her. So Mrs. Kitty is gonna be Kiara's mother, so it's Kiara Kitty. And so you got we don't know yet of Maxwello's last name, but I have it written down. It's just I'm not saying it. So it's Kiara Kitty since Mrs. Kitty that's her mom. She does also have a dad, but the dad's one of those hard ass dads. Only wants perfection. He doesn't want to come to like half assness, things like that. So you're not really gonna see dad until I want to say later on in the film. So we're not including the dad, just the mom. So as you can see, the mom says to disgrace, so keep haste in your place. So Kiara, she has 2 other siblings, and they're pretty much you want to say like the perfect siblings, and she's like the outer child. Just trying to do good for her mother. Trying to do great for her mother. Trying to overexceed for her mother. Her overbearing mother and father. So it's sort of like a competition for herself. In my so that's why I put to disgrace, so keep haste in your place. Miss Kitty informs her daughter to come with her. In my place, Kiara grabs her violin. So that's her singing in my place. Yes, mother, and follows her mother to the recital competition. So Kiara is gonna follow her mom to the competition. That's currently what I have so far. I'm working on some more lyrics, so let's think. I'm trying to think. Let's see. Let's see now. Let's see. To the recital competition. Yes, mother, and follows her mother to the recital competition. I'm gonna put 7 a.m. 7 a.m. And I'm gonna put whole cast singing again. 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 It's 7:10. It's 7:10. It's 7:10. When did you have the interview again? It's 7:10. So this one's gonna be it's 7:10. Sorry guys, I'm over here just putting quotations on everything. I love my parentheses, my quotations, all the quotes that I'm placing in here. So, yes, mother and follows her mother to the recital competition. 7 a.m. 7 a.m. Whole cast is singing again. It's 7:10. When did you have the interview again? This is gonna be Maiko. Says to Axel in the back of the van. In the back of the van. Seven a.m. 7 a.m. 7 a.m. 7 a.m. So 7 a.m. So 7 a.m. This is gonna be the whole cast singing again, so it's whole cast singing again. Seven a.m. This is gonna be this. So it's gonna be 7 a.m. Then this 7 a.m. is gonna be. This 7 a.m. is gonna be. So 7 a.m. and then it's like a question and then like a question and an exclamation point, and then I'm gonna put some dots, so some exclamation points. Michael says to Axel in the back of the van. I was like in the back of the van. 7 a.m. The whole cast singing again. 7 a.m. That's gonna be cast singing again. 7 a.m. That's gonna be Axel. My alarm was set wrong again. My alarm was set wrong again. I can have her singing that, or I can have her just say it. My alarm was set wrong again. I was like, 7 a.m. My alarm was set wrong again. My alarm was set My alarm was set wrong again. Wrong again. Axel frantically gets up and hops to the driver's side of the van. My alarm was set wrong again. Wrong again. Axel frantically gets up. My alarm went wrong again. So that's gonna be Axel's. Axel's gonna be singing that. Axel frantically gets up and hops. And hops to the driver's side of the van. Dang it, I'm late again. As Axel starts the car. As Axel starts the car and begins to drive to her job interview. Babe, buckle up tight. We going for a ride. Axel floors the car down the street. Seven a.m. 7 a.m. Let the fun begin. Sorry guys, I'm over here just writing. I'll show you what I have so far. Just give me like another minute. Sorry guys. Okay, so I think I have the lyrics down. Uh and like everything's happening like throughout the song. So give me a second. I'm still writing down. I have the lyrics. I'm just needing to write down like who's singing it, things like that. So give me a second. The fun, let the fun begin. Okay, sorry guys, I'm over here writing. I'll tell you as soon as I have it written down, so that way you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm just trying to write down everything. Kiara, okay, so Kiara looking at her mother, then back down. Kiara looking at her mother, then faces forward to the street. Grace Kiara looking at her mother, then faces away from her. Cause it's 7 a.m. Seven a.m. Sorry guys, I'm over here just doing some more writing. I know. I'll tell you guys all about it when I have it right now. Give me a second. Sorry, guys, I'm still writing. Sorry, guys, I'm just writing. Juan goes to the kitchen doorway. Juan goes to the kitchen doorway. Alright, guys, I think I have it. I think I have it, and I think I have it written down a little bit better. Let's. Okay. It's like maybe again, I think each song is going to be like a minute or two, maybe 3 minutes. Uh, but a lot's going to be happening within those time frames. So let's get started. 7 a.m. 7 a.m. 7 a.m. Whole cast is singing. It's time to begin. Juan as he moves around his room. So this is him singing this part. Just 5 more minutes. Axel pulls the cover over her face and goes back to sleep. Hope they didn't forget. Juan and Kiara sing to their parents to not forget their big day ahead of them. Did you pick up the cake? Emiliana looks over at Maxwello in bed. I thought you were going to do it. Maxwello looks at his wife as she begins to appear angry. Honey, I kid. Of course I did. Maxwello looks lovingly at his wife. We overslept. Glorb wakes up and looks at the time. Mom's going to flip. Glorbina frantically putting on makeup and dropping some on Glorb. Sorry, Glorbina says to her brother. Don't make any mistakes. Kiara looks at her violin, scared. It's not in your place. Kiara imitates her mother in her head. To disgrace, so keep haste in your place. Mrs. Kitty informs her daughter to come with her. In my place, Kiara grabs her violin. Yes, mother, and follows her mother to the recital competition. 7 a.m. 7 a.m. Whole cast singing again. It's 7:10. It's 7:10. When did you have that interview again? Maiko says to Axel in the back of the van. 7 a.m. Whole cast singing again. 7 a.m. My alarm went wrong again. Axel frantically gets up and hops to the driver's side of the van. Dang it, I'm late again. As Axel starts the car and begins to drive to her job interview. Babe, buckle up tight. We're going for a ride. So I'm trying to figure out. So it's babe, buckle up tight. We're going for a ride, cause it's, and then I have a pause. Axel floors the car down the street. 7 a.m. So it's 7 a.m. 7 a.m. Whole casting again. So it's gonna cut her off. So it's cause it's, and then it's gonna cut off to 7 a.m. 7 a.m. A whole casting in again. Let the fun begin. Juan goes to his door and opens it up, and makes his way downstairs. Let me not be late. Axel rushing to her interview. Glorb and Glorbina on their way to a beauty pageant. So both Axel, Glorb, and Glorbina all sing "Let Me Not Be Late." So they're all three singing "Let Me Not Be Late." Let me shine with grace. Kiara looking at her mother, then faces away from her and looks at the street. Uh, and looks at the street. Mom, Juan used all the hot water again. Bernardino yells to her mother from the bathroom. Cause it's 7 a.m. Whole cast singing again. 7 a.m. 7 a.m. 7 a.m. Whole cast singing again. Let my life begin. Juan reaches the final step of the stairs. Let my life begin. Axel parks the car and makes her way inside the building she has a job interview at. Let my life begin. Kiara goes up to the recital stage. Let our lives begin. Glorb and Glorbina go up to the beauty pageant stage. Because it's 7 a.m. Juan goes to the kitchen doorway. The song ends with all the family members at the kitchen table. Camera pans to everyone eating breakfast at the table. So that's how it is. Again, there's a bunch of stuff happening throughout the entirety of the song, and hopefully it's gonna be a little bit better when it's actually sung out and things are happening. It's not just gonna be we overslept. It's gonna be we overslept. There's gonna be some sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? It's gonna be acting singing, I guess. It's I guess you could say that acting singing, but it's gonna sound better. But that's what I have for the lyrics for 7 a.m. And again, I have all the other stuff that's happening within those lyrics and those contexts. Hopefully that helps you guys visualize where I'm going for. Things are happening with all of them throughout the 7 a.m. song. Whew. Alright. So, camera pans to everyone eating breakfast at the table. Maxwello, Juan's father and former rock star, begins to speak. Maxwello, happy birthday, Juanito. How will you be spending it today? Bernadito, Juan's older sister, interrupts the conversations. Bernadito, he'll probably spend it all. He'll probably. Sorry, guys. I gotta fix some. There we go. Berniadito, there you go. Berniadito. He'll probably spend it all in his room listening to old music again. Maxwello, Bernadito. See, I feel like I have it written down in a way that when you guys read it, you'll be like, oh, okay, I understand. But I feel like I need to. Should I write it in like another way? That's what I'm trying to think. Let's see. Happy birthday, Juanito. How will you be spending it today? You know what? I'm gonna put quotes. Right here, quotes. It's gonna look weird, but I think you guys will get it. It's gonna look weird, guys, but you guys will probably get it. Yeah. Alright, let's see. So happy birthday, Juanito. How will you be spending it today? As he looks over to his son eating food. Oh, Bernadito, Juan's older sister interrupts their conversation. Bernadito, he'll probably spend it all day. He'll probably spend it all day in his room, listening to old music again. As she giggles to herself a little, as she giggles to herself a little. Maxwello, Bernadito. He yells at his daughter. He yells at his daughter for making fun of her brother. He yells at his daughter for making fun of her brother. For making fun of her brother. Bernardito, what? What? You know, what? You know, okay, this one deserves another question. What? What? You know I'm right. He needs to get out and get some fresh air today. Right? I'm right. He needs to go. He needs to get out and get some fresh air today. As she begins to eat, some of her food. Emiliana Maxwell. Her mother begins to speak up, so. Maxwello, I think a little time away from the house. From the house today might do one some good. Don't you think? Sorry guys, I'm just adding more stuff, so give me just a second. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for being patient. But I'm just trying to beef up more of the story, you guys. All right. Sorry, guys, I'm over here again splitting dialogue and things like that. Things are happening within the dialogue that I have to write down. I know, it's crazy. I have to beef up more. I'm beefing up more, what is it? I'm adding more atmosphere, you know. Food, shelter, atmosphere. You know, things. So I'm just adding more to the senses, I guess, you know, things like that. So bear with me. I will tell you guys all about it as soon as I am done writing said things, you know. Just give me a second. I'm trying to also make it flow like organically. Sorry, guys. Again, it's just still writing. Oh, I need to make sure that Maiko is spelled correctly, guys. Give me a second. Yes. Alright, so let's see. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys, I'm over here. I'm writing. It's very difficult. Very difficult. Right. I'll show you what I have so far, but I'm almost to where the next song is gonna be. I know, right? I'm writing. So let me see. Let me tell you what I have so far. Uh, so it's 6:30 p.m. All right, let's see. It's 6:30. Okay. All right, let's go. All right. So where was I? All right, let's. Okay, let's go to where I was at the final song. So the song ends with all the family members at the kitchen table. Camera pans to everyone eating breakfast at the table. Maxwello, Juan's father and former rock star, begins to speak. Maxwello, happy birthday, Juanito. How will you be spending it today? As he looks over to his son eating food. Bernadito, Juan's older sister, interrupts the conversation. He'll probably spend it all day in his room listening to old music again, as she giggles to herself a little. Maxwello, Bernadito, he yells at his daughter for making fun of her brother. Bernadito, what? You know I'm right. He needs to get out and get some fresh air today, as she begins to eat some of her food. Her mother begins to speak up. Emiliana, Maxwello, I think a little time away from the house today might do Juan some good, don't you think? As she looks on at Maxwello, giving him a look of secrecy, Maxwello interrupts their conversation. Juan. Juan interrupts their conversation. But it's my birthday. Don't I get to say of what I want to do today? As he looks on at the kitchen table. Emiliana, how about this? You go down to the arcade for a couple of hours. Juan, but I don't want to go. He begins to argue with his parents. Bernadito, just go for a while. Just go for a while while we get your party set up, dummy. Her parents looked angry at her. Juan, what? Emiliana, huh? We wanted it to be a surprise. But, we wanted it to be a surprise for you, mijo. For you, mijo. But can you please, darling, go out to try to make some friends for a couple of hours for Mama as she looks at Juan? Okay, he says hesitantly as he finishes his breakfast. Maxwello turns the TV on. It's the news. Reporter starts to speak about a mudslide. Juan grabs his bubble bag and went out the front door. He goes to the arcade and plays Bubble Band Adventures for hours and eventually goes home. Goes home. A Bubble Band Adventures for hours and eventually goes home. Camera pans over to Maiko. Maiko, so how'd it go? Maiko, in front of his van, looks at Axel coming out of the building. I didn't get it. Axel, I didn't get it. They said I'm overqualified. How can I be overqualified if I hadn't even started an internship? What was the point of graduating early if I can't find any work? Maiko, babe, it's gonna be fine, and we will find something eventually. Come on, let's go get some lunch. I worked hard last night in the Morco mines and got some money for food. Aw, Axel, aw, babe, what would I do without you? As she hugs Maiko. Maiko, like I said, babe, when we first met, I'm 100% on board with whatever you want to do in life. As long as I'm by your side, the open road is our calling. As they get in the van and drive off. During Juan's absence, Maxwell had to open the car wash for people who were impacted by the mudslide from earlier in the day. There were so many people needing help getting cleaned that they were oh god getting clean. They were so busy that day that everyone forgot about Juan's birthday and fell asleep by the time he got home. He by the time he got home, Juan opened Juan opened the door to everyone asleep by 6:30 p.m. He looks around the house at the hallway. He looks around the house at the halfway decorations placed around for his birthday. He moves over to the kitchen table where his present was at. He grabs his present. Happy birthday, Juan, he says to himself as he opens up the gift to find a shirt that reads Max and Juan's Car Wash. So right now I'm still working on it, but right now it's gonna be a song. So it says Juan breaks out into another song about his dream of becoming a rock star. So that's gonna be it. So it's gonna be Juan's song, just him wanting to become a rock star. So let's see. Juan breaks out into another song about his dream of becoming a rock star. So it finds a shirt that reads Max and Juan's Car Wash. He gets very upset and he gets very upset about the gift. Juan breaks out into another song about his dream of becoming a rock star. Alright. Accidentally dropping the shirt in the process. Okay, uh, so I kind of have to write that in. It's gonna be part of the song, but it's gonna. I'm trying to think of what wrong. It's just becoming a rock star, so it's just the "I Want" song. Like every musical has the "I Want" song. Everyone has it. So it's gonna be Juan's "I Want" song. So let's see, what would I want to name it? So becoming a rock star. Uh, becoming a rock star. We'll name it Juan song. AKA Juan in a Million. So it's gotta be Juan song, aka Juan in a Million. And that's right, guys. Juan in a Million. It was like I've been working on those lyrics. Okay, and on that note, hold on, one song. All right, and with that note, that's gonna be the end of the Bubble Rock live stream. I added some bigger chunks to the beginning of the story. So hopefully it's a lot more smooth, smooth and baseline. I'm gonna be adding more. So there's after the whole situation with Juan and his family, uh, I need to add just a little bit more of atmosphere. That's what I'm lacking is atmosphere for this. So I just gotta write just a little bit chunkier, more atmospheric settings, I guess. I just gotta make sure to add just a little bit more settings to everything. But so far, I like the way the direction's going for this for the Bubble Rock series. for the movies. Uh, hopefully I can get all this done by hopefully at the end of this year. Or the first movie, I would say, by the end of this year. Have the script ready and have it ready for Kickstarter for people to back it up, you know. And then it'll be a free movie for people to watch. Alright, fantastic. And on that note, that'll be the end again. The end of this, the end of this live stream, I guess. You guys can probably recatch it on YouTube, since I'm probably going to put this on YouTube as well. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys later on the next live stream. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you guys for watching later on my YouTube page and channel. See you guys later. Bye now.